Welcome back to 1876 Sports and Culture Podcast, a show focused on highlighting the illustrious Prairie View A&M University, the HBCU of Texas, by promoting SWAC and the HBCU experience, featuring your fellow PV Panthers, Roland Austin, Jay Cleasy, Big Mike Washington, three-time SWAC champ Gati Werema, former drum major HBCU band historian Shawnetta Haskell, and Al Williams, driving the show from the Hill. Please subscribe and follow us on social media at 1876 SCP. And don't forget, we do it for the culture.
Welcome to the 1876 Sports and Culture Podcast. We are second week of Black History Month, and they're trying us already, but I don't want to start there. It's a reason why I had to put on my dashiki today. They pulling it out me.
Hey, it's back to the future. That's all it is.
That was the Ungawa.
It's gonna be a hot one today. It's gonna be a hot one.
I mean,
all right. Before we get into it, I just gotta say, the Pantherettes. I am starting the Pantherette fan club, baby. I knew we needed an answer for the honeybees, because the honeybees get that work. Well, at basketball game this week, they rolled out the Pantherettes, and I'm here for it, baby. I'm here for it.
Did we need an answer to the honeybees?
We needed an answer. We needed that energy, man, that spark, that extra little oomph. I'm telling you, bro, the Black Foxes can take basketball season off. The Pantherettes got it.
Okay, all right. You know what? I don't have nothing on that one. But I will ask, why we got so many doggone cheerleaders? I mean, can some of them move over to the Pantherettes?
50 of them.
No, man, the Pantherettes, it's a criteria to be in the Pantherettes.
Yeah.
It's a vibe, baby.
Yeah. And you know
I'm
what?
here for
They did a show at FAMU. The last two home games they performed. And the second to last one, I forgot which, the Bethune-Cookman home game is where they did a show. It was risque, bro. They put it down.
They coming with those spicy wings.
Yeah, extra spicy.
See? Hey.
Why?
I started, man. I've been following his
And he would have started the show with that.
Hey, fan club. I'm gonna send out membership cards, so be ready. Now, we still seeing the remnants of the former AD, Dr. Reed, still over here causing trouble on the yard. So Christine Lesser, the soccer coach that he hired before his departure, resigned, or probably was forced to resign because she ain't show up to work, bruh.
Oh, you got a whole nother job.
You got a whole nother job, never showed up, running her travel team. We got no recruiting class. The team has not practiced. I mean, we are Division I soccer. Come on now. We went from being in the playoffs 2 years ago to we don't have a recruiting class. This is the effects of a bad AD hire.
Yes. We went from being selected from SWAC champions, being selected for the NCAA tournament, Division I tournament, to now the players haven't practiced in months. Real talk now. They haven't practiced in months, and there is no recruiting class for this signing day. They didn't sign anybody. She didn't recruit anybody. This is insanity. So now how many coaches we talking about? We went from a championship soccer program to zero. We lost a championship golf coach and some of those players.
That was back to back to back.
Exactly. We lost what other coach did we lose? We lost another coach, and I can't recall right now, but we lost another coach. Well, we didn't re-sign Dooley, which he could have did, but he chose not to. So We rectified that situation. We moving forward. But yeah, one bad hire has impacted the athletic program across the board, from championship level teams to now you can't recruit players.
They say all you had to do was just keep the boat on the water. All you had to do is just keep the boat on the water and go there. You don't steer nothing. Don't press none of these buttons you see lighting up. Just keep the boat on the water.
He got that. We had to give him that speech that your mama gave you back in the day before you went to the grocery store. Don't touch nothing.
Don't touch nothing.
Don't ask for nothing. Don't look at nothing.
Right. Don't even open the door unless somebody tells you to open the door.
And if you run off, I'm gonna punch you in the throat.
Oh my God, man. This is like, I feel like a snowball is just somebody just took a little drop of a little snow sprinkle and set it way up at the top of Mount Everest and they wait. Is it down there yet?
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Yeah, man.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so the news of the week. President Simmons issued a memo out stating that her resignation will be effective immediately. So when we first saw that letter, I think all of us were like, wait a minute, what just happened? So,
yeah, man, when we saw that letter, we knew you were talking to a language major, okay? There is so much in that letter that ain't unpacked. You like, dude, she's just eloquently told you everything she wanted to tell you and didn't say nothing.
Bruh.
I was like, wow, it's a lot going on, man. And if you think it's about a hiring issue, as Mr. Sharp so defensively put it in his response, come on, this lady is way above
that. Unpack it in chronological order.
Okay.
So President Simmons was supposed to be done out of here June 1st, right?
But was going to remain on.
She was going to remain on. She was going to teach and run her Center for Social Justice. So she was going to be a presence on campus, but she was going to be in position till June 1st. So now she submits that letter of resignation saying, I'm done as of yesterday. I'm out because of the foolishness that y'all are trying to make me a puppet president with no power or authority of any type for the next 3 to 4 months. So then John Sharp sends out a letter of rebuttal stating that basically President Simmons didn't have the authority to hire anybody during her lame duck session. And it made it seem as if this woman who's worked at the highest of highest levels caught a temper tantrum.
Yes.
It did, because she didn't understand proper protocol and made a knee-jerk decision to resign. I fail to believe that.
Right. With the language that she used in that letter, that ain't it.
Look, there's some folks out there right now working at, and nothing against them, but working at like Best Buy and Walmart, and they are not going to make a knee-jerk decision like that. They're going to at least wait until their bonus check hit.
Exactly.
Yeah. But what I was pleasantly surprised with was the follow-up, the ether letter that Mark Falls and the PV Alumni Association dropped shortly after.
Do you think the Reverend wrote that?
Man, I don't know, but he signed it with his name on it.
He went Freddie Haynes on him, boy. I was like, okay. He down at the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, man.
I say he's been holding back because
I didn't see that coming. But I'm going to point directly to the fourth paragraph of that letter is what I guess I was concerned with, that where my thought process came as soon as I saw that letter. And then if you think about what Hot Wheels and them in Austin had stated earlier in this week, but specifically Mark Falls and the National Alumni Association are saying, hey, we hope that what you spoke about, the reasons for President Simmons' removal, is legitimate, but we know that we've been getting information, and where there's smoke, there's fire, that y'all got issues, y'all being the Board of Regents, y'all got issues because President Simmons, one, she found her own money to open up the her center for race and justice.
Nor did she ask
She
for
found her
permission.
own money to bring on an activist in residence.
Took
And
her
when
own privilege to do
her
so.
own privilege. And that first person, Nikki Giovanni. And if you know who Nikki Giovanni is, you know she ain't about that foolishness, bruh. Ain't not one so-called conservative is cool with you bringing Nikki Giovanni on campus. And when they did that, I was like, man, how did she pull that one off? But didn't nobody say nothing.
And then
So
don't forget Cornel West.
Cornel West on campus. Although, I ain't gonna. We ain't gonna make a big fuss about him.
Enough.
Enough with that one. But then the last straw is the African American Studies program.
That's when it went ziggity boom.
Bam! It's like, oh shit, these
Negroes down here, they forgot this Alta Vista.
Yeah.
See? So, you compare this, you've got to follow the nuggets, right? So we know the news out of Austin all week was that the governor was saying that state agencies who support DE&I initiatives, diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, will not be funded by the state of Texas anymore. So you take that little piece of information, then you come over here with the letter that Ruth put out with the language that she stated. Something about the lowered expectation. I gotta read. I'm gonna find that quote.
Oh my gosh.
She said, hell no, in the most professional kind of way you can possibly say it.
Hey, man, I don't even... that language was...
And charged you alums with not accepting mediocrity. Stop accepting the bare minimum that they want to give us. Now, I don't know how this all plays out, man. I'm be honest with you. I feel as if somebody invited us to a master's level chess match, and I just learned how to play checkers. And you ain't giving me all the rules to the game of checkers, but we ain't even playing that game because, dude, the policies come out so fast and they're so deliberately directed downwind, man. We're talking the impacts of that funding being removed from DEI. We won't even see it and won't even be able to connect all the dots in terms of how it really is going to impact us until probably 5-10 years from now.
I don't think, my fear is that it ain't gonna be that long. My fear is that we can see something immediately. So let's say they pass whatever legislation, if even legislation is required, but we see what's going on in Florida. We know your crazy ass DeSantis. What's the fool in
DeSantis?
DeSantis. We know he's pushed through legislation they're removing books off the shelves. They're removing books about Hank Aaron and Jackie Robinson, but yet they're leaving baseball players, but they're leaving books on the shelves about Ty Cobb, who was a racist. Okay, so we see them doing that in Florida. We see in Texas, they're following the same script. So if they're able to push through this legislation within the next year, you can see we'll just start from the high school levels. They will wipe out any teachings of civil rights era, slavery, all of that. Then if you go to the schools that are, because public schools are state funded. So then if you go to state funded institutions of higher learning, aka Prairie View A&M University and every HBCU in the state of Texas, by them crazy ass people's definition, that is D&I and it is CRT. They are, by their definition, teaching CRT or racially divisive issues are being taught on the campus of HBCUs, particularly if you have an African American Studies program. That is the bullseye of what they claim.
That's exactly it.
Is racial,
But we all know that there is a pattern. DeSantis is following a playbook, and this is the Trump playbook. Go as far out there as you possibly can. you know it's not going to pass legal muster. As soon as you bring the lawsuit, 14th Amendment, all this goes poof. But that's not the goal. The goal is to get everybody arguing over that. Then you're going to move this money from one pocket to the other. We already been underfunded. Now they have a lever.
Yep.
If you underfund PV for a year, I'm sorry, everything goes poof. We've got the $75 million engineering building project that is still underway. You've got all these capital budget projects that are on the way. If you defund those, I don't know that you can make it back. Even you win the lawsuit, you still lost.
Yep. Because it's going to take it will take the state of Texas overnight to enact these issues, this protocol, and then defund. But it'll take years for this to go to the Supreme Court and all get turned around. So within that
that
time,
super majority of conservative hacks that we got in the Supreme Court with no ethics rules.
Exactly. So Roland, when you say we might not see it for 5 to 10 years, nah, man, I think we can see this in a year or two.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. If we're talking about the money, hey, like Rakim said, don't nothing move but the money.
Yeah. It's just I get tired of having to always be on the defense, right? I mean, I don't even know. I can't even say the defense, but you really are trying to figure out what the next move is. And dude, they're already 2 steps ahead in terms of policies, funding, and procedures, and we're still like we're in like panic mode every single time.
Yep.
Dude, that is just too. It is too much.
I mean, they want to know how come ain't no black people in the X Games. Hey, just being black gives you all of the adrenaline, danger, and excitement on a daily basis just by living that you will need it for the rest of your life. So we don't have to go and look for danger or toils and snares. So the challenge is you can't sue until you have cause, which means they have to defund you first, then you can sue. We can't preemptively sue because nobody has standing.
And let's be
right?
real.
So we know if we sue, it's gonna get tossed.
Yeah.
We can't raise $200,000. You think we gonna raise $60 million?
You're speaking about being proactive. So yeah, we can't proactively, block a lawsuit, but we can proactively unite. Like we see they're removing their hoods, right? We see they're removing their hoods and removing any pretense of fairness and equity. So it's time for us to raise our fist in solidarity and unite and put together a strategic plan to fight what we know is coming. We know it's coming. Lead these folks tell you and show you who they are. Stop. Sometimes I hate when we so smart. We try to rationalize irrational behavior.
Yes, we do.
Just accept what the folks are telling you that what they want to do and what they're going to do, and plan accordingly.
Like Big Mama say, if somebody show you who they are, believe them.
Yes, sir.
But here's my question, and I know we are not going to have the answer between the 3 of us, probably between the 30,000 of us. But dude, what is it that makes us so much of a threat? Dude, we're talking 17, and now it's probably less than 17%. We're at 17% of this population, and you are still creating divisive policies to subject us to all type of.
Do you really?
What do you really feel?
You want to know?
Yeah. What?
You know what we've been through?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I know we've been through.
Do you know what
we're kind of still going through it?
And we here? That's what they're afraid of.
Exactly.
Y'all too strong.
Everything,
too strong, too black. Shout out to Mike.
We've done everything to them people that you can think, and they still here. And not only are they here, they're setting cultures. They're setting cultural standards that all our children, our women are trying to achieve. They trying to be like them. That's what they're afraid of, man. Like I would too if I'm trying to maintain my power, to be honest with you.
Man, that library sitting in the center of campus is where the big house used to be on Alta Vista Plantation. And now there is a library where descendants of enslaved people are now able to lift themselves into the middle class and beyond. Uh, the sacred ground that PV sits on, you know, when you think about that Negro national anthem, you know, our tears through the blood of the slaughter, that's real to us. When we sing those words, that's not something that we perform. We hear that, we join in because that's a hymn. So, you know, we've come a long way with being underfunded by over, I would say, $1 billion, yet we still here. So now you get Ruth come in and removes the Chinese studies curriculum. God knows why that existed at an HBCU, and puts in place African American studies, puts in place activist in resident, puts in place, you know, the Ruth J. Simmons Center for Racial Justice. They're like, whoa, time out. These Negroes getting ahead of themselves. So we need to shut this down with a quickness. So they coming for us. They coming for us.
Yeah, and it's too.
And in a way, we probably should have expected it.
We should have. We should have preemptively expected it. But we as Negroes, we reactionary. We don't think that fat meat greasy.
And you're loud. You should have moved in silence. But you can't move strategically and collectively if you don't have the plan of where you're going and what you're trying to build. That's the biggest thing, man. We have gotten, and I'm just as guilty of it. But man, we are so separatists in our thinking and in our training that your collection, your power, your strength, it starts by unifying your resources and what you have, your strengths. We can't, because all of our strengths, our resources, and everything else is tied to every other community but ours.
And you know what? Unfortunately, it seems the more intelligent a person is and the more money they got in their pocket,
the further away from
it just becomes more and more difficult for that individual to believe that these white folks is crazy. And they don't like you that much. No, this is real.
So by the time you get to that 37% tax bracket, they got you.
They got you. And you tied up. Yeah.
It is. All right, man. Let's take a quick break, and I want to come back and talk some basketball.
Here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that.
All right, let's talk some basketball. You know, we've had 2 SWAC games since we last talked. We had the FAMU game and the SU game. So, Joe, what'd you see?
Man, we'll make it real quick. So we were at the FAMU game. We won that game. I'll start with the ladies. We won that game 51-49. They had 33% field goals, shot 33% from field goals, only 17% from 3-pointers, but they still pulled it out. Donna Rosenthal had 14 points. Jerlyn Smith had 10 points. The follow-up game to that was against Southern. They lost that game 69-52. 35% shooting from the field goal percentage, 27% 3-point percentage. So a little better there, but Tamirico Taylor had 10 points, 5 rebounds. Rosenthal had 12 points. So you had that up and then that down. Same deal with the men's team. Well, the ladies are 7-5, so in conference. So they're still looking good. They're going to make the tournament. Yeah. So on to the men's team. They beat FAMU by 30 points.
They beat the brakes off them boys,
who
man.
Who saw that coming? 75-45, 58% shooting, 50% 3-pointers. So that explains it. Takarian Smith, he came out blazing, 17 points. He hit like 3 3-pointers in a row, then had a heat check 3, and he missed that one, but he scored 17 points. Mr. Augustine, 16 points. He's become Mr. Consistent. And Will Douglas, off the bench, high point score, 19 points. So Will Douglas is coming off the bench and getting it done, like, the microwave. Follow-up game to that, Southern lost 79-65. Douglas had 13. We shot 50%. It was a tale of 2 halves. First half, we shot 50% from the field, 34% 3-point. 50% from the field on the first half. The second half, we only shot 34%. 3-pointers, we shot 53% in the first half, only 25% in the second half. So the second half, we just had a tough shooting night, and that's what led to that loss. The men are only 5-7 in conference play, so it's going to be really tight on that SWAC conference.
Man, the men's side, I mean, top to bottom, there's what, 3 games separating first place and last place just about? So it's going to be down to the wire trying to make the tournament.
Every game counts. So they're definitely not out of it, but they got to get on a nice little run real quick and hope that the other teams, have some stumbles along the way. So it's going to be that I suspect that last home game against TSU is going to be for all the marbles to make it to the tournament.
Hey, we're gonna need them Pantherettes to do their thing. Come on, baby. Come on, girls. Let's get it in. Let's get this dub. Let's go. Let's go.
Bring the mojo, huh?
Hey, I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, they got one baby girl who on the Pantherette. She's always in the back. She got a pledge face the whole time she performing. I'm sorry, I'm off topic.
Hey, she had that grip face. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, she got her grip face down. She ready. Matter of fact, I'm going to hold her because I might have something for her at the end of the show. All right, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back with I'm So Glad. All right, and joining us today, we have our niece. She was our first ever guest on the 1876 Sports and Culture Podcast. None other than Miss Zahria Spencer. Zahria, what's going on?
Hey guys, I'm glad to be back.
All right. Good to see you. So you've been busy since the last time we talked. That was what, 2021 or something?
What did we talk about?
Your clothing brand.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Your first money maker.
Uh-huh.
You look like, hold on, is that an alumni? Oh, I thought you wait, folks have to check. I'm like, is that an alumni hat?
No, girl, she's
Getting
still in the dorm room.
Okay, all right.
She's still in that dorm room.
I was just checking.
He said you ain't finished pledging yet.
You ain't pledging.
Still online. You wearing them letters on your chest.
Oh, Lord. So, Zahria, you got to tell us. I know you've been busy. Tell us about this 404 club.
Okay, so I started an organization last year for Atlanta students because I'm from Atlanta. If y'all didn't know, well, y'all know that. And so I just really wanted students from Atlanta and really Georgia as a whole to be able to network with each other, network with the alumni. And then once I got that together, I added like a few more principles. So we do community service together. We're raising scholarship money for the members. So I'm going to have them apply for a scholarship. And so that's cool. And then we also, when we go back home, we go to different local high schools. So I went to my high school. We went to another member's high school this past break. And we basically just gave them the rundown of PV, the application process, a student perspective, I guess. And a lot of people out there don't know what PV is. So that's why I feel like that's really important, because every single school you went to, they were like, what is that? Oh, I've never even heard of that. Then they were impressed by the end of the presentation. So
y'all like frontline ambassadors. Huh?
I'm trying to tell you.
Exactly.
Nice. I like that. And I think
I'm
you have
familiar
taken
with that structure.
the city clubs, those individual clubs, to a whole nother level. I mean, we had the Michigan Club.
Hey, Michigan Club was deep. We were about 40 deep, baby.
Yeah, y'all were deep. Like, we don't need no more.
We still have a
Detroit
Michigan
folks.
Club. We still have a Michigan Club. We're actually working together to do an event in April. So
Okay.
Nice.
and they're still pretty deep. They're deeper than 404 Club.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna
How many
ask how
students?
many. Yeah, how many?
It's probably 50 in there.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how many?
It's only
students
like
do you-
25 in 404 Club. It's about double in Michigan Club.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask how many students do you think are on campus approximately from the Atlanta area?
In the club it's 25. I'm pretty sure there's more that just,
Don't know
don't
about it.
really, yeah, either don't know about it or just don't really come out the house. Because that's how I was freshman year. But it's probably no more than like 40 students from Atlanta. There's probably more, a little bit more from like Georgia in general, but it can't be more than like 50, honestly.
They're not coming from too far from Atlanta if they.
And it's just like nobody knows about PV out there.
Yeah,
I
that
think
is
that's
really
the
cool
biggest
though.
thing. We're closer to so many other HBCUs, so nobody has even heard of PV.
Yeah, they were
That
like
makes
that when PV first came to the Battle of the Bands out there. They were like,
Yeah,
"Who is this?" And then that's when the band was deep. Boy, they blew them out. Like, oh my god!
yeah.
yeah.
And the Battle of the Bands really does help. I think a lot more people, at least the band heads, they know who PV is.
Yeah,
But like the regular students, they definitely.
Yeah, that
See,
doesn't surprise me.
the quickest remedy for that is we just got to get in that celebration bowl. If
Yeah.
we come to the celebration bowl, word will be out.
We coming deep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it
coming
doesn't
real
surprise
deep.
me because right next to Louisiana, they don't know Prairie View. They don't know anything about Prairie View A&M University. So it doesn't surprise me that way down over in Chicago, in Georgia, Atlanta, that they have never heard of PV.
Yeah.
Now, how much support do you get from? How much partnership do you get a chance to do with the alumni chapter down there?
So that is a struggle.
How so?
I've reached out. We were supposed to like meet up with each other for homecoming. It just kind of
Okay,
not freaky, but
we'll help fix that. I used to be in the
yeah, I
chapter.
do.
We'll
I
help
definitely
fix
need
that.
help with that one.
Okay,
'Cause
no.
I,
We'll connect you to the right people and
yeah,
make sure, because I think the president was your mom's Sarah, so we'll make sure that helps out a little bit. It
yeah.
should at least.
Maybe I just
Better
got in touch
lean
with
on that
my
shit.
president.
I know, right?
On it. That's what it's there for.
All right, Zahria, so biology major, you ought to be coming out here probably by next December or something, right? When you coming out?
Oh, I graduated in May.
Oh, she's like, no, I'm
Like,
up out of here.
hold up,
Hold
bro.
up, player.
Like, time out. See, I got my SWAC hours and I'm out.
Look, that's why I thought you had brought the hat prematurely. I'm like, oh, you ready? You already got your alumni hat on.
She ready. So what's next, Zahria? What you getting to after graduation?
So next school year, I'm going back. So I went to Ghana over the break for about 2 weeks. Um, it was just like a vacation trip. However, I made a few connections while I was there, and so I'm going back next school year to work at a hospital. And then
All right.
basically after my gap year, I'm going to med school back in the States.
So
All right.
let's back up. She's taking a gap year
A
in
gap
Ghana.
year.
These
Hey, baby, that's that next generation.
next
See,
generation. These
when
students,
we were saying our kids gonna be have it better than us, that's what we talking
That's
about.
what we.
that is all right. That is all
Yeah.
right.
That's
Shout out
all
to
right.
your mom for funding that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that gonna look like with you working at a hospital? What is that?
So the rundown so far that they've given me, they just said I'll be at first just shadowing the doctors, and then they'll be able to give me more hands-on things based on how well my experiences is. I already have like clinical experience, so I don't think my shadowing will be that long. But it's just like a precaution that they do for all the interns. And then I'll be, I guess, taking vitals, talking to patients, asking what's wrong, getting the whole rundown. So I'll basically be acting like the doctor's assistant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are you gonna live?
So they are giving me full accommodations, housing, 3 meals a day, transportation.
Really?
Shoot.
And that's
Hey.
all right.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Shoot, we gonna have to come crash. You're gonna have to come up to a cry and crash.
People, come on, like,
Now, has that did anybody from the university have any influence or help with any of that, or no? I mean, it's okay to say no. I just
Okay. No, there's a 2-part answer to this question.
okay.
For myself, I did this completely. However, I kind of inspired a teacher or a professor to go out there. So he was out there too, the same time I was out there.
Okay.
So I was telling him about like what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do this before I went to Ghana. So
Okay.
I was talking. He's like one of my mentors. I was talking to him about it, probably around like September, October. And so he was out there with me. Like, we didn't go together, but he was also out there, and he met with the medical school that they have in Ghana.
Okay.
And apparently it's like really, really nice. And so basically in the future, I think he said either 2025 or fall 2024, they're going to open up this program to where pre-med students can go out there for a co-op internship.
That's exactly what I was reaching for. That's what I'm talking about.
What professor? Can you say his name?
Dr. Keaton, Dr. Alfonso Keaton. He's he teaches anatomy and physiology for biomajors, and he's also the director of undergraduate studies. So, yeah.
That's huge.
That should be such an easy putt for the medical academy, you know, to actually create that partnership. And
the medical academy.
I know.
See what happened was.
Get your papers first before you get to.
We had a discussion in June.
Right.
I'm in the medical academy, and Dr. Downs, he doesn't like to partner with a lot of people, but I could try to talk to him about it, especially since it's already basically on go.
I think it
let Dr. Keaton do his thing. I think you let Dr. Keaton do his thing. Don't even worry about it already.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to get some big face posters ready for graduation, because we don't come and we not quiet when we come, so you gonna hear us. Okay. Yeah, we coming deep. We coming deep.
It's embarrassing you. Don't even worry.
Well, I appreciate it.
We might not get shirts made, but we at least gonna have a big face thing. All right, Zahria. Well, thank you for joining us again. Glad to hear.
Hold up.
Joe got something.
We got to ask you about this foolishness that's going on in the yard with the presidents.
Oh, yes.
The board of regents and all that. We got to get your take from a student's point of view. What you got? Don't hold back. Don't worry about them people.
Okay. I feel like, so y'all saw the original letter and then like Texas A&M clapped back or whatever. I just feel like I don't blame Ruth for leaving, because she's just done so much, and for them to completely strip away all of her power is just kind of crazy to me. And I think what really happened was they didn't really inform her that they were going to do that until they did it. And that's why she was just like, I feel like if she would have known that was going to happen ahead of time, then it wouldn't be like this big deal. But for them to clap back and say, well, we did that with all the presidents, so that was Ruth's decision to leave, was just kind of crazy to me, because Ruth has just done so much. Like, it doesn't really matter to me that they do that with all the presidents. I'm sorry. And I'm upset.
She should get a pass.
I'm personally upset because they're saying that she won't be on our diplomas.
Yeah, she's not going to be the one to sign your diploma.
Yes, and she's been my president since I've been here. So it's just like,
no, I think I would fight for that one. Now that's a little.
Yeah, we've been talking about it. She's probably still going to be at the graduation, so I might just go up to her and have her sign it herself. Honestly,
oh, she gonna get that.
That would be dope if they let her do the keynote. Let her give the keynote and spill all the tea.
They ain't giving her a microphone at all.
That's gonna be crazy. Oh wow. Well, I hope you guys prevail, and I know it'll be such an honor to have her to sign your diplomas.
Yeah.
And especially with all of the chaos and scrutiny that's going on in this particular as our exit year. So y'all keep up the fight and let us alums know wherever we can help. If it's a petition that needs to be signed, let us know. Get it going. Between us, we'll push it out wherever it needs to go. So,
man, Z ain't pushing no petition. She gonna be in Ghana, fool.
Right? She's like, I'm out.
I'm out. Y'all deal with this foolishness.
She's like, deuces up, 8 times down, baby.
She gonna be like, I'm with my people
over in Wakanda. All right, Z. Take care, girl. We'll see you in May. Come across that stage. You'll see us. We'll holler back.
All right, take it easy.
We'll be right back.
Bye.
Bye.
Time for some We Ready shout-outs. My first shout-out, Pantherettes, baby. They got it. They ready. They ready.
Hey, having a first-hand view of their two of their performances, they be out there and they be ready, man. And don't get their music wrong because they gonna mean mug you till you get it right.
There it is. They was ready. Who else got a shout-out?
I'm going to shout out Professor Teresa Dowdell Vest. I don't know if anybody got a chance to see her post on Facebook. I'm not sure if is she getting her degree from PV? I know she didn't do PV undergrad.
I believe so. Yeah.
But I want to shout her out for so eloquently speaking her voice, letting folks know a little bit of the truth from her perspective as a faculty member or a staff member, and actually having the courage to say something while being employed by the university. So special shout out to Professor TDV. Hey, we appreciate everything that you're doing for that department, and I personally appreciate you speaking up in that alumni group, because some of the alums that have been seasoned alums wouldn't have said what some of the things that she said out there in the public forum like that. So, I'm not saying she put a job on the line, but maybe she did. You never know, right? These days.
She was ready.
That was some courage, and she was ready.
Yep, she ready. You best believe. So I'm on the same vein, man. It's going to be a subject that's going to keep on going. I want to give out to the president of the Prairie View's National Alumni Association and his supporting team, his board, Mark Falls and others who crafted that letter that was sent out to the Board of Regents. The wording, the strong language in that letter, it wasn't no sugarcoating. It wasn't no tap dancing. It was no kumbaya. It was a, hey, this is what we know what the hell y'all doing. We gonna give y'all the opportunity to come forward with the truth, but we know where there's smoke, there's fire, and we ain't taking this BS, and we want a seat at the table at the Regent's chair. It's a damn shame that an alumni of Prairie View A&M has never been on the Board of Regents, the board that controls this university. So I just want to say I am happy that our leadership is leading from a position of power, not a position of weakness. That's what we need. We can't pray our way out of this. We can't ask and beg our way out of this. We got to take what we want. We got to demand what we need. So Mark Falls, the NAA, y'all was ready.
They ready. They ready. All right. Shanetta not here, so I'll give him my best. PV.
You know.
See, I delayed just to make
long.
Hey, but it was still coordinated, so I'll take it.